Well, somebody asked me an interesting question. Why did I troll and stuff like that? So I thought I'd explain a few things before. Yeah, I had a small live before Amy's thing, but I didn't want to screw up her like live. So because I kind of did it last night without thinking, and I figured I'd not do it this time. So yeah, everybody assumes that I'm always like a troll or that or they think they know why I joined that group or all this other crap, and no, I'm starting to see that most people don't know. Because it's not as simple as it sounds. I know I'm starting to do them a little bit earlier than usual now. I kind of Diana works late usually, so usually I would sit here and hold them back hours on end, so she could be there, during the conversations. That's what I tell people. I'm like, I mean, at this point, I've just learned to be like, okay, yeah, I'm a troll, whatever. But in reality, no, I'm not. I'm a smart ass. I'm a smart aleck. I'm a very blunt, to the point person, and I'm not as nice as I probably could be about it. But it doesn't really bother me. It's just how I am. Hey, Tracy. No, no, I'm not a troll at all. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not a troll. I do not say things because I want to get a response for them. No, I don't. Usually, when I'm being mean or blunt to somebody, it's because that's the easiest way to get them to remember what you've said. You know what I mean? And if you tell somebody in a stern, fucking firm way, for one, they get scared, they get offended, and yeah, they think you're coming off as a dick or whatever else. And to them, basically being an asshole or a dick or anything like that is always labeled as a troll. And then everybody hears that I was a member, like the troll farm and blah blah blah. It's like you don't even under realize why or how that came to be and all this other stuff. And maybe, just maybe, if y'all understood a little bit more better, y'all would get why, you know, I was basically lumped in with this. Not when we say lumped in, I was conned into the fucking group. Simple as that. I'll explain further when some people get in here. Oh crap, there's a bunch of people already in here. Now, for one, I'm gonna say it once, I'm gonna say it clear. Anybody that doesn't remember this, I'm not gonna be so nice the next time I hear it. I am not a troll. I have never been a troll. I may have been in a group called the Troll Farm, and yes, I knew some very sneaky, dastardly, fucking asshole-like ways of getting things done. That doesn't make me a person that would be considered a troll. For two, I never chose, hypothetically speaking, to be in the troll farm. That never happened. If I told you, and I don't mind telling you because I've told people that many times, but I was conned into joining the troll farm, and it became one way or the other. Um, how do I put this? Okay, I'm gonna tell you exactly why I joined the troll farm right now. And people that don't know this, half aren't going to believe it. The other half are going to think of something, of God knows what. Okay, straight up, I was told that I was needed to help keep an eye on two specific women and their online habits, is the best way to put it. Because if I didn't or help, there was a good chance that they might be murdered by Bridge Guy. And I know that sounds pretty kind of insane and everything else to hear, especially when you're hearing names and everything else, and getting calls from places like, you know, I'm hearing like Detective Vito and Holman and all these other MFers. And um, not Rick. This was before Rick was arrested. You got to remember, I was in the troll farm like 3 years ago. That's when I joined, about three and a half years ago. I didn't have a suspect back then, to be honest with you. Not one. Not, yeah, not by Rick. No, no, no. There was a suspect at this point in time, hypothetically. They were basically saying, I don't mind saying it at this point. I really don't. I was told that basically Tony Klein would find out that specific people were talking to the police, and that, I mean, who are those two women? Well, one, I promised to leave their name out of it because they're really not involved in this whole thing. But a lot of people here already know who I'm talking about. And the other person, I'm going to say, I really shouldn't even name that person either, just to be nice. But they were directly connected with that person that they thought was going to murder them. Like, real connected. Like, real. You got to understand, if I say who it was, then I can't have this live up. I have to delete it after it's done. Because these are actual friends of mine still. Well, I wouldn't really call them friends anymore per se, but they're not enemies either. He is a violent guy. That is fact. And while I didn't think of him as a suspect at all in my investigation, um, well, I mean, I didn't want to take the chance of two women being fucking murdered and it being my fault. Yeah, I mean, if it was a private conversation, ask most of the people here. I guarantee, Shibby, I think, did I tell you or no? Or did I? Because I know Diana knows. Who else is on here? Well, actually, it might just be Diana. Because there's not too many people in here that know what I'm talking about. So, the two women that were involved with me joining the troll farm, the ones I was trying to protect. Yes, this was before Richard Allen's arrest. Yes, that was correct. All right. It was the suspect at the time. I would not call Rick Allen because Rick Allen had not been known or arrested to at least us. Okay. If I wanted to say it better wise, the suspect would have been Tony Klein at the time. Well, I never once called Tony Klein a suspect. It just didn't match up, to be honest with you. And there was no way that Tony or Keegan was the person on the bridge. Person on the bridge had a neck. Tony and Keegan do not have necks. Enough said. I mean, it may sound bad or whatever, but you can still see Bridge Guy's neck when he's looking down. And if Keegan or Tony is looking down, they have no fucking neck. If you can find a neck on either of them, I implore you to show me some said evidence of this, because I found like hundreds of pictures, but none of which showed either of them, Tubby, Tucker, whatever you want to call them, fucking having a neck. It wasn't even 2 weeks. This was, like I said, well beforehand. Keegan had just been arrested maybe a month or so, or actually right around then. Keegan had finally been arrested. And then shit went nuts. I've watched Eye of Asparagus. Sure. What about him? They have no necks. If you could find a picture with Tony or Keegan having a neck, I will apologize and tell them so. I've talked to Keegan and they even called him a no-necker and he thought it was hilarious. So, yeah. They have no necks, dude. Yeah, if you can find a neck on the Kleins, man, I'd be shocked to see it, honestly. It's like their shoulders meet their heads. Okay, yeah, I get that, but it's a composite, this and that and the other. I've seen the enhanced videos metadata, and I can tell you that it's a real official actual video that's just been fucking what's the word I'm looking for? I just said it a second ago. Enhanced. These are things that creators tell you because they know that you're not smart enough to prove them otherwise. And the creators around y'all do it all the fucking time. That's the main reason I haven't gone through like a massive description on how to figure out exactly how tall the guy in the video is. because plain and simply, for one, I didn't want people to steal my work because then they just edit it and try to steal it and change it and do this and that and the other. And for two, it's because most of the people in this community don't seem to understand trigonometry. And rarely have I found some a few that do. And honestly, once we've gone through it in our own private time, yeah, they're pretty much saying, "Hey, it's a rough estimate, like you say, but you're pretty close." I'm like, "That's exactly all I've said." No, he was not that big, sure, but technically, you got to remember this was the second time he went to jail, not the first time. So he had been to jail beforehand on certain things or whatever, and they released him, and then he got re-picked up again. But like I was saying, the reason I joined the troll forum was to help keep an eye and protect these two specific women. And one of them, only one of them, like one of them is directly related to the other woman, and then that woman is directly related to a possible suspect. Is the best I'll say. But what I've already said so far should tell you exactly what. And don't say it out loud because I'm not going to go. Hey, yeah, you're correct. You should know what I'm saying. Don't say it out loud. Would you like to really know? Because there's things about me you don't actually know, but you might be interested. I mean, I guess it's kind of interesting and it's kind of not. Um, it might change your outlook on the kind of person you think I am, though. I mean, it depends. Do you hold it? If a person's from a bad family, does that necessarily make them bad? That's the main question I have to ask about this. Or let's say, no, nope. Like I said, I just asked y'all. I said if someone is from a family of bad people, doesn't necessarily make them bad too. Guilty by association. Guys, if you know much about what I'm even talking about in the first place, you know there is a massive group that goes back and forth between Indiana and Florida. So let's not rely on conspiracy theories when there already is a massive criminal group that goes between Florida and Indiana, back and forth and back and forth. Well, that's how I keep an eye on them. I literally paid my cousins and shit to just keep track on them. That's also how I scared off Tyler freaking what's this fucking Carpenter, aka Rick Dunlop. Don't you realize who did that? That was me too. No, I literally asked my cousins to keep an eye on the the one woman really because the second woman wasn't really known, so didn't really have to worry about her and the suspect. And Keegan was locked up, so TC. Who's TC? Gone. Hypothetically, yes. He hasn't shown his face ever since he was arrested for strangling his wife in the domestic abuse shit. But at the same time, I know people have spoken to him. I'm not going to say why I think he's not showing his face. I will say that I do believe partially it has to do with me. What? Oh, okay, okay, the drumming thing. Yeah, okay. How do I put this? Like my mom's much older brother, who's I'm not even sure. I think he's still alive. Okay, back in like I think it was the '70s or some shit or whatever, helped create like a motorcycle gang. That gang is called the Outlaws. You might have heard of it. Basically, these things were created by a bunch of people and stuff from Indiana and Florida. Kind of started in Florida, And basically, the group itself tends to go back and forth between Indiana and Florida and some other places quite often. So if you're wondering how I was able to do things or whatever like that, it's very simple. People owed me money and this and that and the other, and it was a way for them to pay me back. I'm not going to get into how much I paid, but it was for around about a year and a half. Because, like I said, at the time, one of my literal best friends was one of those damn women. Actually, no, technically, both of them were really my best friends. I mean, I still have them on Facebook and shit. So yeah. Oh, they've arrested plenty of the outlaws. Not my uncle. And like I said, eh, think about think of me however way you want. The worst conviction I have on my record is a possession of marijuana under 9 grams. Technically, it was a roach. That's the worst conviction I have. So if that makes me a horrible person, then well, fuck. What do you expect from me? The church raids, yes, if that's what you're talking about. The Kingdom of God church raids by the feds. But yeah, if you're actually paying attention to what I'm saying, it's not hard to figure out who I'm talking about and all that without me having to name it. Because, and don't type it into the chat, it's not going to help anything. And I'm trying to prevent from having to delete these things. Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Believe it or not, half of my family is police officers, the other half is fucking criminals. And I'm kind of, I guess you want to say, a mix of both, to be honest with you. Did they ask me to help? Yes. I still have all of the proof of all that as well. And prop, everybody knows about all this. The only one that doesn't actually is Snay because of his actual um, acquaintanceship or whatever with the person I'm speaking of, because I do believe it would cause some harm or trouble with that woman. So, and that is basically why and the how I actually joined the troll farm. Because at first, no joke, I made a simple solitary post on a Facebook thing in a group, and somebody who I assumed was a troll hit me up, and I guess you could say messenger or whatever, but it wasn't messenger at the time. It was just the Facebook thing. Um, they started getting into a long conversation with me, and then they told me of their supposed connection to that person that was a suspect. And I called them full of shit. Why were they friends? They were worried that they would get killed because they were talking to the police in regards to the Delphi investigation, is what I was told. Not both, just the one. Like I said, the one is only involved because her relation to the other one. But the other one is the one that's, you get what I'm saying? I don't really even know why the one's involved. She just happened to be there. So it's mainly the one person that we're trying to keep from, is what I was told by the woman herself and others. And you got to understand, in the troll farm, they had secret members that, yeah, right away I joined knowing that they had secret members. I just only knew who 2 of them were, but there was at least 3 of them. Vito Holman. I think there's like 2 other cops I'm forgetting, but yeah, the main one was Vito, Detective Vito, straight up plain out and simple. Because I've emailed the dude, I've talked to the dude, and everything else. Now, that group shows up around here, they're going to call me a liar and tell me to shut the hell up. Oh, yep. See, look at that. Told you they show up fast, don't they? Just by the title of my video alone, they decided to show up. You see what I'm talking about? But it's amazing how the only ones that actually have the galls and the balls to come up here are the ones that weren't even members at the time, aka that one person that I'd rather not name either. It's like the later on incident that I'm also told that didn't exist or didn't happen. Um, but the people that are always saying it didn't happen are the ones that didn't join until like I don't know, like a year and a half or 2 years later. It's like, bro, why would you know? You weren't here. Then you guys can explain all the screenshots and stuff of that day and all the screenshot conversations I have with many of your members about it. Many of your members. Who were they talking to? Who are you talking about? The women, or they were talking to the police? Not they, but she was talking to the police. The police were interviewing her. I'm going to get yelled at just for even bringing this whole topic up. So FYI. But yeah, this specific person was being interviewed over and over again at the time, from what I was told. Now remember, these groups around here aren't necessarily the most honest, but I do believe in what the majority of what she was telling me or whatever was true. But for the life of me, and I'll tell you flat out right now, in the entire 3 years or so I've known her, never once did I ask her until finally I did, because this was after Richard Allen was arrested. I wanted to ask um, questions because I was worried because of the DNA that there might have been others involved with Richard Allen, because apparently the DNA does not match his. How are you confused? Fuck's sake. I went on Facebook. I made a post. The post concerned the suspects. Within that one post, oh, I forgot an important part too. Hold on. And if they want to call me a liar about this too, then they're going to have to explain the emails and the screenshots and all that from those two. Just saying. Because that's how I met the murder sheet people. Because after making the post, I called this lady a liar and a troll. And I made a post concerning her account name, which is when I started getting the not DMs, but messages and shit like that from people I didn't know that apparently were members of the group, who I would later find out those were troll farm members. And they can call me a liar about that too, but once again, they're going to have to explain how they had this long line of messages with me all the way before I was a member. Awkward. Yeah. What was it? Oh, yeah, yes. At this exact moment, my email goes off. I'm not really even sure how they got the email. Maybe they saw it through Facebook. I don't fucking know. But and I still have the emails to this damn very day, because I used it just recently to get back in touch with the murder sheets. Because it wasn't the murder sheets' email, believe it or not. It was like their personal emails. You know what I mean? And that's how I reached out to them again. And oddly enough, I'm going to have to say more very soon about those guys too, because it's like, if they're journalists, why does it seem like they're holding back on certain details and hiding specific facts, all for the benefit of a specific group? Kind of seems like it's pretty shady, if you ask me. Because I was told recently they wanted to interview me in regards to perspective on the troll farm, because a lot of the members, even though the leaders said otherwise, because I guess they call Prof or whatever, or Snay or Prof, and basically that whole group, or basically called the Troll Farmers Massive Enemies or whatever. But when asked, I guess members of the lower group mainly said that they're always just talking about Charles It's always fucking Charles, which is sad because I don't even like myself enough to talk about me that much, for God's sakes. Oh, yeah, see, but this is the whole point. Once it was already reached out and they wanted my number and all this other crap, and I gave it to them and all this other good junk. I knew at that point in time, I was like, if they actually give me an interview, which I doubt they will, which I'm going to use against them the fact too, that they wanted to in the first place, but then all of a sudden backed off. And that's before I even gave them any details. But, what was it? I was trying to say. Oh, but I figured if they did the interview, there was a specific way I was going to do the whole interview myself, what I was going to do on the other end that nobody would know about. And at the same time, other things or whatever I was going to send to them. And then I get to basically use it as a nuclear weapon to drop on everybody, including them. Just to basically throw their credibility into the trash. Sounded like fun. And I figured at worst, they would see the kind of people that they were dealing with and toss Troll Farm to the fucking into the dumpster pile because, well, honestly, if you knew what the hell they were up to for the longest time, you'd probably toss them into the dumpster fire too. You know what I'm saying? But because a long time ago, and that was because I was Troll Farm, I basically was always convinced that the bad groups were at first what we didn't call them crankers back then. They were called the Knot. And the Knot was supposedly the enemy of the enemy. That's basically who they was. Which made no sense to me in a bit. Because it's like, I know people in the Knot. They're not that bad people. So what the fuck's going on here? But at the same time, that's why I didn't attack anybody. But yeah, don't get me wrong. I am a smart aleck, smart ass, whatever you want to call it. I am a dick. So they would get used to me showing up in their chats and just saying anything and everything I heard that was wrong. I would call out and try to, politely give them a correction in the way the Charles does. We know Charles. Come on. Yeah, and I was banned for life for like a lot of those chats for a very long time. Not anymore, oddly enough. But hey. But yeah, I'm an asshole. I say how I feel. I say how it is. And if you're wrong, well, I'm not trying to be that much of a dick, but at the same time, I kind of am. So I've learned that when you politely tell somebody something, there's a good chance they don't remember what the hell you said. But when you're fucking blunt asshole to them, they tend to remember. Yeah, I knew with the title of this live or whatever, I knew they were going to show up. And if I see one other one, I'm going to start releasing names. Period. Sit back and watch and shut the fuck up. Or I will start saying fucking names. Or better yet, I'll do worse. So it won't be on me why those women and everybody else's names are being out here. It'll be on y'all. And I'm not even friends with them anymore. I don't give a fuck. So you're picking the wrong person if you want to fucking play a little game with me. And you can't use the whole, well, doxing people is bad and it makes you a bad person. No, because your little boy did that to a bunch of people, or at least tried to. So, yeah, I live by the law of if you're allowed to do it, I can too. That's how I go with it. So if he can do it, then I can too. The only difference is, most of the people don't know this information. Most of this information is actually, all of it's real. And not only do I can use screenshots, or I can just use, I don't know, state and county websites to prove what I'm saying. So, But yes, that's what I was saying. That is the reason I joined. And believe it or not, the main problem I had with most of the Discord servers I was on was literally, for one, they tried to tell you what to do. If you ever try to tell me what to do, it doesn't work out very well. And the main people I actually liked in these groups, like in BTF or whatever, I did not like TC at all. Did not like him at all. I told everybody not to trust him. I told him this. I told him that. Nobody listened until it was too late. And it turned out I was correct. Jinx was a good friend of mine for a long time. I'd still technically consider her a good friend. She's just crazy at the moment, so that's not my fault. I mean, or crazy, misunderstanding, whatever. Oh, with the names? Oh, the names that I have will only literally hurt the two women involved. I've given you enough information, and everybody already has enough information for you to figure out on your own who these people are. Plus, I'm also on Discord and everything else. Why does it seem like when people want information, they only know how to do it when I'm using a public source to relay messages into the whole world? If somebody had just reached out to me on a more personal level, they'd know these things. Yeah, I got a Discord. I got a Discord server. I have Facebook. I have phone numbers. I have email addresses. I got like a million email addresses. You know, and if anybody or I've told anybody that I'm very open. But the problem is, right now we're in the live. That means whatever I put out in this live goes to everybody and everything, whoever wants to watch it, or I have to delete it. And honestly, I'm getting real tired of having to delete shit over and over again. I really don't want to have to do that. And if I say the names and everything else, then I have to delete it. Because why? I'm doxing to somebody in a fucking public area. And you don't like it when they do that shit to Prop and all them other people, right? So why would you be okay with me doing it now? Who? Me? It sucked. I was stupid. And I made him hurry up and give me my shit so I could go. It wasn't a doctor's appointment. I was at the ER. And no, it wasn't very good at all. It was just a preemptive thing because I knew it was about to get really bad. That's all. But I'm fine. And yeah, these are the same idiot trolls that like I just banned one of them, who believe they know what I look like and all kinds of other stuff. The last picture you've seen of me was probably from 2 to 3 years ago. There's, other than I guess the kind of face. Oh wait, it was the lives I did where you can get like a couple blurry image of my face. Which yeah, I got to do another live stream where I'm actually on camera. But they're just gonna assume that they think they know everything and all this other crap. So it doesn't bother me. Being a creep to women. Well, once you can name an actual woman that I was creeped to, how about it? Because, yeah, if you would like me to go through my entire history with all the women that I talked to, you're literally going to start finding out that, well, it was kind of exactly opposite. They were the ones being creepy to me. Because once again, you're going on by somebody else's story. And it's usually somebody that by the end of things weren't happy with me. So, yeah, like I said, would love to know which woman I was a creep with. Because if you knew the things I knew about these specific women, whew, well, yeah. I mean, if you mean I was objectifying them, nah. They were definitely objectifying me. So, no, I haven't been. I think there's a couple of people on here I joke around with, but we literally have normal conversations and stuff in private. But all they somehow is they get the jokes and all that, and I didn't even start doing that until what, like 6 months ago or so. So we're yeah, you're not banned, person. So why aren't you answering? Who was I a creep to? Still waiting. You see how they make up lies? But when they're even given the chance to respond, they got nothing to say. You know what they call those? They're not even actual troll farm guys. They're not cool enough to be in the actual troll farm. They're the fatty fats fucking people. Yeah. Which is hilarious because how many communities have you been bitched up and kicked out of? In the after show. Oh, the other show? Oh no, it's probably due to the title I made of this video. I knew some of them were going to show up. Plus, they don't know that person to know to, at the moment at least, a big mount to lurk. So the fact that they don't know who that person is kind of tells you what group they're trying to be aligned with. But sadly, some peasants can only dream of being in groups like that. Me, on the other hand, I wanted nothing more but to fucking get out. I quit it like 50 fucking times. Probably actually no, it was more than 50 times. I think I basically left and quit that group like fucking every month, at least. And it was mainly because of things that were specific. Not all the things, mind you. Now, when somebody posted what's thought to be crime scene pictures or anything like that, which is kind of hypocritical, because wasn't it like y'all's leaders and shit that were fucking spamming, sending them all off to the rest of you assholes? Of course, the ones in here wouldn't know a fucking thing about that because, as I said, the losers that come in here talking shit weren't members back then. So how the fuck would they know? How about this? Any troll that thinks they have something to say that's worth saying, if you could just tell me, I don't know, who I was just talking about a minute ago. I mean, I'll poop the comment or whatever, no problem. If you can even name that person, oh, that's right, you can't, because that's above your pay grade. You just think I'm full of shit. But you explain to me why that person, I don't know, is still, literally, y'all make up these lies. You think people are going to believe them. But then the next time y'all turn around, the people you lied to that you thought believed your bullshit is still right there by my side. You ever figured out there's a good reason why? Oh, exactly. Because if it was the crankers, they'd know exactly who that person was. Because Mean Girls are with them, right? But they don't. So that tells me everything I need to know about which group. Plus, the crankers are a hell of a lot. I've got a lot of friends who are fucking crankers now. In fact, how about y'all get all the motherfuckers y'all can, and you come back. Well, I don't actually need an army to kick y'all's ass, to be honest with you. But if I was going to, mine's much bigger. So I got derps, I got fucking crankers, I've got independents and rejects, and my own group at that. You got a group that's about done and been flushed down the toilet, and a loser that couldn't get the fucking truth straight if he fucking pulled it out of his own ass. Make sure you record this too, because you're on my lap. Because I remember y'all used to call me out on, hey, that's not true. There was no women. There was no this. There was no that. Then y'all shut the fuck up. It's like finally, at least one of y'all was actually told, oh no, he's telling the truth. Wait, they didn't do those horrible things. They didn't try to do that. Oh, I don't hear that either. Nobody keeps saying this stuff over and over again. No, okay. I shall explain. I forgot to do this. I gave a specific few creators a specific name. It was called the Derp Squad. And because they weren't really crankers, and they weren't troll farm or anything like that. So I needed to call them something, and they weren't rejects either. So I was like, "Fuck, what do I call these people?" And they were always saying stuff that I thought was dumb. So I just went, "You know what? They are the Derp Squad." And then I even had an account called the Derp Squad. No, no, you guys are yourselves not the Derps. The Derps are hairy, curly, and dope. And it's more like just a funny nickname or whatever. So but I can tell you who I'm talking about when I say the Derps. It might offend you a little bit, but I'm sorry. It is what it is. I did I did create the nickname. I did think it was hilarious, and I did stick with it. That's just how I am. What do y'all? I don't know. I've never given I mean, I guess y'all are my group, right? I mean, I never thought about like, I didn't think I was like a creator to have to name my people anything. I don't think me and Diana ever talked about anything like that. But now that we're well over 100 and everything now and shit, I don't know. Maybe I have to actually think about that too. I don't really want to be labeled the evil person anymore because I don't see myself and I never have. It's really the evil person. People just misunderstood what my account meaning was, entailing. No, the Derp Squad is Snay, Noe, and Prof. That is literally the Derp Squad. The phone call of what? Well, I'm not an asshole, and there's a particular reason why it's not a phone call. I mean, it's not actually a phone call. Like I said in the get-go, they are conversations involving and to Rick Allen. Ow! Fuck! Yeah, they're conversations with Rick Allen. They're not phone calls. But it is Rick Allen. And honestly, upon looking at them myself, I can tell 100% they were fucking Rick Allen because I've heard him speak, and he types the same fucking way. It's like, in a way, most of the conversations that people have had with King Klein were done so via textual messages through what I assume to be a Turpid device. And somebody I know had, I'm not even going to say somebody I know, Diana had, she had literal conversations with Richard Allen and others. That is fact. And she outed herself, so it's not like I'm doing anything mean to her either. Because I kept saying, keeping the name under. What's AI? No, it's legitimate, real. And honestly, only one of them. I mean, if you just want to know about Rick Allen himself and what he thinks about, yeah, it kind of gives you a pretty good idea of that. Kind of like I have a lot of friends and stuff that are in jail too, and it's basically the kind of conversations you have. Oh no, it's definitely Rick Allen because he accidentally sent a text that wasn't supposed to go to us. It was supposed to go to, from what I can tell, a nun, I guess. I assume. Yeah. I mean, obviously, the reason I haven't put them out wasn't because of my own issues with putting them out. It's, I don't like to say it out loud because it makes her sound, but Diana basically said that I should check with her before doing so. And recently we had that bit of an argument and everything else. And I'd be kind of a dick if I went out and just, well, she's out of the picture. I'm going to post this shit now. You know what I mean? I don't ask you to believe it. I've seen it. I have it. So you're calling Diana a liar, I guess, because she's the one talking to him. You realize that, right? This isn't somebody we don't know or this, that, and the other. This is Diana. What do you mean I would be in big trouble for what? She's not gatekeeping or whatever. She's once again, y'all. This is in the middle of a public live. Why do you ask questions in a place where you could be asking them somewhere else much easier? You can't believe what? That we had a simple conversation with that makes no sense. You do realize you can reach out to any fucking inmate, Brian Koberger or any of them, right? It's not hard. Yeah. She's a psychologist, remember? You know, I'm gonna probably start probably pooping things or whatever because I don't see these as being very polite. Um, y'all are refusing to go on more personal things to even ask these questions to a person that can answer them instead of doing it on a public space that everybody in the world can see. Uh huh. And trust me, I can prove far more than that of people she talks to. Richie Davis, like this just shows like y'all really don't know what's up because the other people that come in here and stuff know as much as I do and are kind of laughing probably in the background right now. Yeah, work related stuff. I'm not sure entirely. That would be a better question for her. Maybe she was just curious. But yeah, from what I do remember, she had to include money for them to respond back to her. Yes, and the two I can remember most easily of all would be Rick Allen and Richie Davis, Davis, whatever, or as I call him, Reese's Pieces. I also have up to date pictures and shit of Reese's Pieces. In fact, I gave him a new nickname and all kinds of other stuff. So as I said, you just yeah, these are things that nobody else has. And it's not my place to show them because, like I said, this is her information, not mine. I was just going to show the conversations because only one of them really, um, to me at least, only one of them kind of stands out like a sore thumb. And I've asked other people the same question, just containing the elements in personal conversations, and they agreed with me too that like, holy crap, that might have this, that, and the other. But of course, one side's going to think one way, and one side's going to think the other. Well, I was going to release them at Hebby's charity thing, the second one, or whatever, to get as many people in there as possible. Of course, I wasn't going to charge anybody anything to actually release them. I was just needed to get as many people in one place as possible, and that seemed the most likely way to use. Yeah. Whatever. Don't do what? No, that's what my plan was at the time, but that's already long past, and we didn't release it because it kind of fell forward with all the creators not showing up and this and that and the other. Yeah, but like I said, with people like me and Diana, we're not Indiana people. We don't give a shit, and we're not involved with any payouts or anything like that. And I'm not saying anybody is, but I'm just saying I know I can 1,000% prove I'm not. And yeah, if you're asking me if I trust Diana with the fact that she said that she had that conversation and I've seen the proof of it and I have it, yeah, I do. No, I've literally clearly told y'all to get on a more personal way to have a conversation with me. And it's like it's going in one ear and out the other. I promised her I wouldn't release the information without her knowledge of me doing so beforehand. I've now literally told both of you if you want to know more information concerning that, you just have to reach out to me on a more personal level that's not being broadcast to the entire world. Because I prefer not to have to keep deleting lives left and right. But it's like I'm talking to myself here, apparently. I'm not calling anybody wrong. I'd want to know the information too if it was me. But once the person says, hey, reach out to me on a personal level and this and that and the other, I do so. See, that's the other problem that seems to be going on with these groups, especially certain specific ones. Y'all don't want to know anything that has sounds anywhere like it could be against what you're hearing from these creators. It's like cults, man. That's what I only thing I got to say. Because anytime one of y'all or your creators or whatever like have something new to add or whatever, I'm usually the first one up there listening. Y'all notice that? It don't matter who it is. I'm right there front damn center listening to find out what this new information is and add it to my list and go from there. When you're starting to have to close your ears off to the actual truth or things that are coming in that are facts, I'm sorry. There's nobody gatekeeping anything. You're shutting it out. And honestly, the conversations really don't, really, in my own opinion, don't really say anything in regards to his guilt or not. Oh, I'm being made to look like a piece of shit, I guess. Because they want to know more about those messages and stuff. And I'm not, yeah, I already promised you I wasn't going to do that, without you being informed earlier. And I said if they wanted to reach out on a more personal level, which, I mean, my email accounts are pretty easy to figure out, or I just give it to you if you actually wanted them. I have Discord. I got like 50 different ways to get a hold of me. But the second they hear that it possibly might not look good in Richard Allen's own, I guess, I don't know, perspective, in my perspective at least, they also, well, one of them doesn't want to hear it. Nothing. Somebody asked about the conversations or whatever, wanted to see them. And I'm like, talk to me and not in a lie. That's all I said. All I'm saying is just ask me somewhere that's not in a live being broadcast to the entire world, and I'm more than happy to tell you what you need to know. They're asking about the messages you had with Richard Allen. And I said that I can't give out that information, especially during live, because it's not my information to give out. And I had been asked specifically not to do so without you knowing. That's I thought I was saying the right thing. She is a psychologist. Whatever reason she was talking to him or whatever, that's her business. That is her whatever content, whatever you want to call it. That is her information. Now, okay. The messages, yeah. No, I said we had conversations with Rick Allen. That's all I said we had. You took conversations as meaning a phone call. That's not what I said at all. I mean, I don't think, no, I didn't say anything about making anything explode. I can pull up my post right now and show you exactly what it says, and it doesn't say any such thing. All I said was the specific guy that side that thinks he's innocent basically discount specific entire witnesses' testimony and everything else, and that I possibly had a text that literally goes along with the testimony of the main one that they fucking go against. There's not anything damning. I said that myself. All I said was, if you want to discount what a specific witness said, well, Rick Allen seems to confirm at least part of what she said. That's literally all I said. So if he's confirming it himself, you can't really discount everything she said. That's literally all I said. No. Once again, that's what I'm saying, guys. You necessary evil, which is necessary evil with E at the end, and then a 1 at gmail.com. Or you don't even need the 1. That'll get to me too. Y'all keep asking me shit that I'm not willing to release onto fucking public. Yeah, I'm done with that topic of conversation. I already said the why. I already said everything else. If certain parties want to change their mind or want to do something about that later on, that's up to them. But just because I know it, I see it, I have it, doesn't make it mine. It doesn't mean I can just release it whenever the hell I want to the public. I have respect for others. And I've asked literally if you wanted to talk about it more. I've now given you multiple ways to get a hold of me. I'm Necessary Evil. Once again, Necessary Evil with the E at the end on Discord. So there's, yeah. I know. I told him. No. I specifically said conversations, which conversations don't have to be vocal. They can be done with words. They can be done typing. They can be done all kinds of different ways. They took it, or whoever took it wrong. And yeah, it was supposed to be done at a charity thing, is what we were talking about at the time or whatever. That fell through. And really, they're not that big of a deal. They're not at all. Unless you're literally shot forward of trying to make the dude look innocent and trying to make somebody specific look bad or like a liar. And it's not that big. It really isn't that big of a deal. Unless you, I mean, shit. Oh, he likes cats. Do you feel better now? Yeah, so you don't want the trolls to know, but now you're asking me openly in public. Think about that. Because if I help y'all on here, I have to help them on here now, don't I? Because they'll have the information too. And did I not say that if I gave out the information, I would have to delete the live? I'm not trying to be a dick, guys. I'm really not. No, I literally. If you would just reach out to me. Seriously, this is. No, I'm just starting to believe that people were just too lazy to actually reach out to somebody. That's all literally it is. It takes 2 seconds to make a brand new Gmail or whatever that you can't really link to any other Gmail, from which you can actually make a Discord with or literally email me on mine with. I've given you 2 emails now. I've given you my Discord name. I mean, I'd probably just say out loud my phone number in here and really get myself doxxed or whatever, but I don't think you'd even, do that. So. You don't need Rick's consent because you were not working for him and you were not actually his psychologist. So technically, it's free information. And right now, that's another thing, y'all. You see 3 people are in here chatting, right? Look at the number of people in this chat. What does that tell you about the rest of the people that are in here, the lurkers? Do you really want to give them ammunition they can make content and more shit out of? Who's not calm? The only reason I'm even have being aggravated in this first place is because I made a promise to Diana that I was going to out the shit. Okay, but at the same time, let you get up your ass and make an email. I'm not trying to sound like a dick or whatever, but it just takes seconds. And I damn sure don't need to give the crankers any fucking content. I don't need to give the derps any content. I damn sure don't need to give the fucking troll farm and them people any damn content either. Because, yeah, fuck the groups. And honestly, if it was mine, I have just done so. If it was mine and everything else, I would have just done so. But just like if any of y'all had given me some sort of information and told me not to give it out until you say so, that's exactly what I would do. Yeah, and like I said, the only reason we even talked about releasing the shit or whatever was literally to help heavy. So honestly, in my book, that was a justified reason to even have that conversation. No, I mean, she's telling you the truth. You can easily just reach out. The same way they look up Noe now to get in touch with them, you could just do to get in touch with Rick Allen. You know that, right? No, I'm sorry to think the viewers, like I said. I've talked to the serial killer that killed my cousin the same damn way. But actually, I had phone calls with him too and letters because this was a long time before they had the old chirp devices and shit. And this community may be a joke or whatever, but no, if you're not willing to reach out yourself to actually find out information, that says everything I need to know about you. That's all it does. That's safety. I have literally listed multiple emails of my own personal on here to give you a way to reach out for me. It takes 2 seconds. So I have to say it on a lot. That's the only way y'all feel safe. No, that sounds like fucking paranoia, severe paranoia to me. And maybe TJ or whatever is the only person I can see literally having the reason to even be slightly paranoid. That means you're paranoid of me, which tells me, why are you like here in the first place if you don't at least, I mean, come on, guys. If I'm literally willing to trust y'all with all my information and everything else, you can't create like a 2-second email account that has no connection to anything else you do. Yeah, that's my other problem with all these groups. You all are literally starting to come off as cults. I take anybody's information, no matter what group it comes from. Anybody's. And how do I put this? Yeah. If it's wrong, I tell them it's wrong, and I tell them why it's wrong. If it's correct, I add it to the other information and see if it has anything to do with me and my decision and what I choose to believe. And from day one, I've been on every single group, gone back and forth, investigating every single angle. I guarantee I can bring up information on this case that none of y'all fucking know about. But you should, because you've already labeled a suspect or somebody, or saying somebody can't be a suspect. But how can you say that if you don't know the information? See if you have one what. Don't make me ban you. Seriously. All right, I'm back. Is it better now or no? But yeah, every single week it seems like I try to have a bunch of lives, and then 80% of them I have to delete because people want information that I can't have publicly open, and then I have to literally delete the lives over and over and over again. Which means all the information given out in that live that could have helped somebody else is now lost forever. And it's like, y'all can't leave comments on the videos. Y'all can't do this. Y'all can't do that. That's weird because specifically I've seen you do otherwise. And that would still be a less publicly open thing than what you're doing right now. Because I tell you what, Keith and the fucking Mean Girls and the Crankers and all that, I know they record my shit. And you know what? You better believe, look at the title, that fucking Troll Farm is here. And you've seen the two I already had the band. Doesn't care. You want to know what you want to know. Fuck the rest of the world. That's very selfish. That's what it sounds like to me. Because I've given you 60,000 ways. You could have left a comment on a post. You could have done this. You could have left a comment on the video, on the live, or anything like that. But no, you want it during the live. You've already seen me ban people. So you know there's shitty people here already. And it's not like I don't want the guilters to have this information. That's fine. Or the actual innocenters either. I don't want the groups. Because I don't feel like there should be groups. They're fucking cults at this point. And it's just starting to fucking get really fucking creepy. Now people don't want to hear the truth of anything now if it somehow slightly damages what they think about the person's guilt or innocence. I did a whole live about Charlie Kirk, but I had to stop it. But that's exactly. But you know what I mean by that. I already did a live involving Charlie Kirk. Then I had to stop it. And then we went over to Amy's. See, look, I already left Amy. And to watch her shit. And then left there, came back here. Because people was, I think it was Trial Junkie, was once again asking questions in the chat or whatever, involving my time with specific group or whatever. And I was going to answer that and get back to certain other things. And like I said, y'all were bringing up comments and you make me sound like not a very nice person. And that could be part of the truth. I'm not asking for that anymore. In fact, I can give you, personally, I can give you one of my own emails and then somehow get you the same password to some other means that only you will know, if that's for the case. It doesn't bother me at all. Well, that's what I've heard. I've heard there's some sort of video or some shit that they got the shooter on and everything else. And yes, I'm very pissed off about that because I actually talked to that dude in real life. Not in person, but, you know, we've had discussions in typing and emails and shit. And I don't like it when people kill good Charleses. And it's like, yeah, I don't need to talk about that anymore after this. But if I'm lying about all the things I've said so far, and I'm talking to you guys who are listening, talking about the guys who are creepy, well, then let me ask you, then why do I have screenshots of your leader asking that woman why the other woman somehow sent trolls a bunch of screenshots about an event that never occurred? Kind of peculiar, ain't it? Because if they didn't occur, then I wouldn't have those screenshots and she wouldn't be asking. The fact that she is asking tells everybody that I'm right. And the more you attack me, the more you're proving I'm correct. Just saying. Because every single time I do something like this, the next day I'm getting blasted and all kinds of other stuff. Ironic. And the funny thing is, you'll actually think it does a fucking thing. Because it don't. I got thousands of people I can use. Thousands. I got 10 times your creator list. And so far, every time, I've just been by myself. That should show you, you can't do shit. But make up lies and try to convince people that might not be happy with me at a moment in time. And there's people in this chat right now who are seeing exactly what the fuck y'all do. So trust me, you ain't for nobody. You know? Yeah, well, no, y'all can talk about whatever the fuck you want. I don't care. Oh, yeah, but at the same time, that's all they know is fucking dirty tricks. And the reason why they only know those is because, like I said, well, I have to. Who else has the evidence? Should I hand it to somebody else or a bunch of people and say, okay, we'll all get attacked instead? I think I'm doing the more honorable thing and just being attacked myself and letting everybody else get attacked too. Actually, I just approached multiple creators, and the only reason people that wanted to see the actual evidence was propping them, and the only creators, they wanted that shit for content. That's it. That's it. And we're talking about actual crimes. So, you would think that people would take it more seriously than just fucking content. Yes. And I am, yes, I am a nice person, but sadly, I have to be not nice to these specific people. Blindly to mainly fucking protect most of y'all. I'm not saying you do, Kyle. You're fine. Because I said he wanted it for content, he said that himself. So go ahead and go. I'm not going to lie for anybody. Would you like to see his conversations about that? Because I can go get them. Once again, if you don't want to know the truth, you run away. Yeah, my friend got shot and killed. I'm not here to kiss somebody's ass after a friend of mine got killed. I'm tired of people shutting out what I have to say when what I have to say are facts. Because it somehow blemishes their outlook on specific people. That is not my problem. In my opinion, it doesn't really do that at all. Yeah, that person also wanted to use it as a weapon against the other group. And I'm sorry, I'm tired of fucking war all the time here. And I'm tired of the drama, and I'm tired of fighting. So if everybody's just looking at how they can figure out how to attack the next person, it does seem like it was done by a professional or somebody that's former military. I will agree to that fact. Yes, Diana, we're not even talking about that anymore, dude. Oh, Carol left because I said the prop wanted the evidence screenshots to use it as content and as a weapon against troll farm. But that's the truth. I'm not sure why she sees that as a negative thing, in my own personal opinion. The only reason I disagreed with it is because I was tired of the infighting on the community. I gave my own reason, and I said why I didn't want to hand it over, and what I said is the truth. No, I'm talking. Trial Junkie just literally asked who I was talking to, and which you got to inform me which part of my conversation you're talking about. When I'm saying specifically to nobody in particular, I know exactly why you were wanting me to show it up or this and that and the other. Yes, that's who I'm talking to because they are here. Trust me. But yeah, some of the things I say is directly pointed to them. Or I usually will just be commenting on things y'all have said. Then that should be self-explanatory, right? So yes, I am speaking to them because they're too afraid to talk. I did ban one of them because I don't know, he smelled like a fucker to me, and I can't deal with a nasty smelling shit like that. So I gotta remove the trash. You know what I mean? I don't like this trash. If I wanted more war, I would just announce everything, release everything, and hand it out to everybody. But the difference is, I'm tired of fighting. That's all. But yes, from what I heard, I'm hearing something around 200 yards or whatever. That necessarily doesn't mean. I mean, I can make a shot like that from 200 yards. To be honest with you, very much so depends on the gun and kind of attachments and shit it has on it. Lord, okay, I literally, if one of y'all would just politely say, "Hey, we can't hear what you're saying" or whatever, it'd be fine. Or Kara might also be mad at me because I was like, "Shh," or I'll ban you. But that was just me talking shit. So if she's mad about that, well, she's being a little wuss. That's all it is. She's a mod for a reason. God, y'all are adults, but you act like kids. It's fucking weird. I have AirPod Pros and all kinds of other things. The more effort and money I put into these broadcasts, then it seems pointless to be not like charging or doing something to make money off of it. This is what I do so I can happily say, no, I don't want a penny. No, I gotta remember to charge up my fucking AirPod Pros because those things work pretty fucking well. And I do have a headset. That's another time that people keep going, I can't hear you sometimes. But then I find out, like an episode or two later, that, oh, they were fucking with me the whole time. Well, yeah, stop being assholes, and I think I would be able to calmly talk to y'all. See what? The weird one. And plus, I'm sorry, I have enough devices and shit that if people were actually telling me the truth when they were working, when they were not, but now this problem, and I don't have the money to go spend hundreds of dollars at a shot to get new ones. Um, with my health bills and everything else, I had to fucking already deal with. Or did you forget about that? But this was the first time I moved around whatsoever. Oh my god. Here's one of my words to the wise. One of my pet peeves is literally hearing about my audio sucking in a way that's not productive. Like, just say, hey, your audio is trash, and I could try to work something or do something to fix it. But it's just, I don't know. Yeah, Dan used to do that shit all the time and be a real dick about it. So then I started really hating people over it. Looks like little ghosts. That's surprising. They usually just make new accounts. I mean, look, I probably every bad person on my list that's been banned is probably majority them, and that's all the same, like 8 people. Because yeah, I think I've proven it more times than anybody. I got like 50 different accounts on just this phone alone. It's very easy within 3 seconds to create a whole brand new account. You know, or as I call them, throwaway accounts. But yeah, sadly, Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Well, I wouldn't say earlier today, but technically earlier yesterday at a political event at a college in Utah. Yeah, it sounds like it. Nobody likes it when it sounds like, okay. It's like if you're not saying something positive about a creator they like, then it's hate. But it's not. I mean, if said person was here, oh lordy, look at that. Thank you. See, that's constructive criticism. I appreciate that, Snag. Oh, come on, bro. Don't be hateful. It's just a cute little fucking name. Seriously. And okay, now if Snake, yeah, Snake finally, I think we do need to finally have that discussion of why. Because now that I'm not friends with any of them bastards, I don't mind saying it. And if you've heard the rest of this live, well, I think you already got a kind of inkling towards it. So there was no jumping groups. I never was supposed to be in a group in the first place because I'm a loner. That's what I do. I do my own thing. I was told that people were going to be murdered. Yeah, because you were the one I was told not to tell specifically because of your acquaintanceship with this specific individual. Your friend, basically, who was considered, I guess, a person of interest at the time. So yeah, there was no bouncing. It was literally Charles being forced into a place Charles didn't like being in. They tried to tell me what to do. They tried to tell me which creators I could watch. They tried to do all kinds of stuff. And no, I would be basically going nuts and quitting all the time, every damn month. Sometimes a couple times a month. But I would always come back because, like I said, these 2 women were very good friends of mine. And I was told all kinds of things, and I learned a good portion of them were bullshit. Costed me quite a bit of money because I thought, hey, if there's a possibility that they actually would get murdered by Bridge Guy, that's a good enough reason. And these people were kept hidden, just like Mark Robert Cohen was. Yeah, Troll Farm hid him too in the Discord for a long ass time. I didn't even know who he was until months later when the prop started bringing up the GoFundMe stuff. Somebody who I basically was, oh Lord, can you understand what I'm saying now or no? Because if not, I'll just refresh it. Okay, hold on, I'll be right back. See if I can pick guys? Or no? Okay, nobody's answering. Is this working better or no? How about somebody saying yes or no? Is this working or not? Oh my God, finally. All right. As I said from the get go, all right. The only reason I joined that fucking group is because I was told through Facebook and stuff, which I still have her on my Facebook, by a specific woman that he's not the leader of the troll farm, and neither is Ruckus. I hate to be the one to tell you, but that's not true at all. The straight up through and through leader has always been Jinx. Cohen couldn't even handle dealing with me because I kicked his ass on a regular basis, let alone him be the leader. He couldn't even get me kicked out when he tried. I hate to be the one to inform you about that one. No, I don't get me wrong. I believe fucking Cohen's a piece of shit. He did all kinds of bad shit. I agree with you on that one. But he's not the leader of the troll farm. He's, from what I remember, a close personal acquaintance to Jinx. Yeah, Jinx would protect certain people that were friends of hers. Other people I will not name because, I mean, I could name, but you know, what's his fucking name? The account name he goes by Ashley, whatever. You don't know what you're talking about at all, and I can show you. Because there was an incident literally where Mark Robert Cohen tried to make it sound like I was saying all kinds of negative shit about him and was attacking a friend of mine named Bojangles. And in the process, I made him look bad, but she finished him off and made him look bad. And then he went to go tell all the leaders of the troll farm to get me kicked out. And Bo had already given them the screenshots and everything, proving everything he said was a lie. And you are also the people who think you know who fucking Babylonian Cowboy and fucking who was it? Delphi Dummies and everybody else are. And I know every single one of them people in real life, names and all. But y'all couldn't be farther from the truth of who you think they actually are. Because me and Mark Cohen never got along from the very get-go. I think the closest we got along was being able to do the Fire and Ice podcast when it was 3 of us doing it instead of just the 2. Don't come on my live trying to talk shit. I didn't say your name. Goodbye. And I'm tired of people shutting me up or trying to shut me the fuck up. I don't know anything about that. I don't claim to know anything about that. All I literally said was he's not the leader of the troll farm. Because he got told what to do just like the rest of us did. You know, you're basing some sort of hierarchy that basically begins with a Discord server on the hands of some fool that only got where he is because he actually knew the right person to get crime scene photos and discovery off of. That's his claim to fame. You're giving him much more fucking superiority here than he needs to have. And if that were the case, how come I can personally call him out on everything else? And you know what? You do that on your channel, and he'll actually show up. He don't show up here. No, he's not, because Babylonian Cowboy is a good friend of mine. And Delphi Dummies is not Mark either. That is what's his name? That's Wesley. He's Canadian. I know who all of them are. Yes, I did what? I do know who all. I don't like Mark. I've never liked Mark. Mark and Tyler Carpenter are pieces of shit. Didn't like either of them from the get go. Tommy, what Tommy Frost wanted me to do, get along for a bit, and Jinx wanted me to get along with him to do the Fire and Ice stuff at the very beginning, and it was like for 2 episodes, not even 2. I think it was only 1 actually, and by the end of it, we were already fighting. And if you actually look at like Peggy's live from, I don't know, last time, maybe I think Mark was on there, or the time before that actually, you'll see exactly how he feels about me, because Jinx is too stupid. I'm not calling Jinx brilliant or anything like that, and I'm not calling her dumb either. But at the same time, it doesn't take brains. When the brains are surrounding you, and it's not like this is some, okay, y'all call them brains because you think that they're massively some sort of state organization and everything else, but then y'all say the same thing about the crankers or the not, which I get. Yeah, there was a little bit of something there that pointed towards the possibility of that. Sure. And yeah, I think I know a lot more than everybody else knows. You ain't asking the right questions. No, I'm talking about the one before that. Just hearing I was even there, dude, was fucking, you know, give me like a little 30-second send off. Fuck Charles, fuck Charles, fuck Charles, fuck Charles, fuck Charles, fuck Charles. Who? What, tonight? Or what are you talking about? Oh, of course he won't talk to you, just like he won't talk to me. Mark Robert Cohen has literally came at me a total of fucking 6 times at least, involving all kinds of dumb bullshit and everything else. And each time, basically, I literally dealt with him myself, except for the one time where the person I just banned dealt with it instead. But the reason she's mad is because the other thing I'm trying to talk about, which is why I'm going to stop talking about it now, and I'll just email Sneh about it instead. Because as I said, if you know, I mean, I really shouldn't have to at this point. It's more of a common courtesy, if anything, straight up. Because you know, it gets real tiring to do things for the sake of everybody else. You know, and if you're not even my friend anymore, why am I supposed to protect everybody, this, that, and the other? I don't think I should have to. What? Yeah, I know who all those people are. And once again, I'm sad. You're giving Mark way more how do I say it, credibility than he deserves. For one, yeah, just look up his true crime cases and stuff and what he believes, and that should be enough for you right there. Jesus. But no, the Unhinged isn't him. The Wesley's not him. And you know, like I said, the only ones I keep really down pat on who they are is Cowboy, because he does not want his, you know, identity, you know, that out there, and he's always been a good dude to me. And yeah, the other person, and they have always been good to me too. Now I've got all kinds of shit that if I really wanted to start some shit, I could start some shit. Not with you, Snake, so don't worry about that. But I don't expect anybody to worry in the first place. But no, I know plenty. And yeah, I'm basically here to say that I was conned into it in the first place. First, I was attacked. After I was reached up by murder sheets and a specific individual, then I was attacked, and their whole group bum rush bullshit. And after that happened a couple of times, then somebody fucking finally listened to me and what I had to say, and they went and confirmed it, and then all of a sudden they wanted me to join. And that's why I was a member there. When you were told that somebody, or in fact, two people could be murdered by somebody you already know has already killed two people, even if it's probably bullshit, you tend to start listening. And the troll farm, you can leave me the fuck alone. This is my story, and I'll tell it as I please. You got me involved. She got me involved. I say whatever the hell I want. And I don't know if somebody's giving you this said information in regards to certain things, but I'd be starting my series on the murder sheets for person. Yeah, I got their personal emails and addresses and all that if you'd like. Because honestly, they were the first ones to reach out to me after she did. And yes, Snake, yeah, I'll use the same email I did before. Yeah, it's like I said, I really didn't believe what I was hearing at the time because it didn't make no sense. But I have my own investigation. But I would have felt horrible if I didn't at least try to protect these people. If that makes any sense. Because if something did happen to them, then I really would have felt like shit. I had a very see, like I said, that person never did me no wrong. The persons that have, I don't mind. Certain individuals never did me no wrong. I don't know about what they've done and what they haven't done. I really don't. As far as not in that group is concerned. Um, but no, everything I've said so far is the truth. They don't want me telling the truth. I'm not exactly sure why they don't want me to tell the truth, but that kind of bothers me in the first place because, as you can see, I've left names out of it. So why can't I tell my truth, my story, as long as I left the names out of it? I don't see a problem with that. And as you see now, I haven't been a member of this group in well over a year now, and they're still trying to control what the hell I'm saying. And that's the signs of what y'all need to be looking for. If somebody's telling the truth or not when they're talking about that group and all that other stuff, is how badly do they start trying to fuck with them and showing up and attacking and do this and do that and the other. That tells you everything you need to know. Well, I mean, Bossy got kicked out a long ass time ago, FYI. I mean, but she was one of the original members and one of the people that attacked me in the first place. So that's fact. But yeah, she very well used to be until she was kicked out. And in the archive was also kicked out too. Now, I haven't been there in a long time. I don't know if they've been really, brought back into the fold, but the few people I have spying for me have said no, that they aren't. Chris was kicked out for having a vendetta and not being able to let shit go. For whatever reason, at the time, Jinx was trying to get us not to attack Prop and Noe anymore, and everybody else was actually listening, but Chris just couldn't do it because they had that history back and forth between them all, and he was just too upset by it. We tried to talk him out of it in personal conversations and shit multiple times, and it just didn't work out. I love Chris. I think he's a decent person, honestly, I can see why he was mad, but I can see why they were mad too. And there's been a lot of that back and forth. I see how their perspective, I see their perspective, and I got to sit there and just deal with it. That's why I keep saying there are no fucking victims here. It's a back and forth thing. They say one mean thing, somebody tries to one up it and says something worse, and then it goes back and forth for long ass periods of time, and then they restart over again. If there's even a little bit of break for peace. Troll farm. Oh, Cohen's not a member anymore either. In fact, the last time I heard about him being anywhere near the troll farm was when they were interrogating him in regards to me, because they swore up and down that he was or that I was still talking to Peggy, and they weren't going to let her into their little group or whatever. Um, if they found that she was talking to me still, and then so they basically interrogated his ass over the whole me thing. But and I only usually go by the ones that actually have done things. Really, I mean, yeah. I don't know. I've never seen really Rescue do anything that bad. Yeah, I've never. She's like Deb. I've never seen them do anything really wrong or whatever like that. So they are on the Discord server, like Coach. I already forgot his name, but Coach Kev. Coach Kev was on the server for years, but he never did anything, never said anything, never helped him do anything wrong or any of that stuff. So there's people on the server, and then there's people that and as far as I know, at least that's all I'm saying is me. I never saw Rescue All the Dogs do anything wrong. No, I don't quote me on that. I'm just saying I don't know for sure. I only know as regards I see them on the server itself. Most of the people that were in that server, and we're talking about most times 100 or so tops, were people that would like, yeah, we agree with you and everything else, but I'm going to sit back here and not get involved too much. And I understand that there's a lot of pictures and video and everything else that had Rescue usually with Jinx and stuff like that. But to me, at least, it seemed like she was more just being a supportive friend to Jinx than the other was. And trust me, Snake, there's a lot worse you don't know yet. Seriously. And Jinx doesn't have to be smart. I'm not saying she is or she isn't. But when she's got the balls to do this stuff, all she needs is the intelligence around her to be able to pull it off. And as being somebody that helped give her plans in the past and seen her try to commit them, even though I gave them to her as a joke, yeah, that's enough for me to say, no, 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 no. Trust me. The intelligence is not needed in her head, but she's not dumb either. It's the people that are around her. If that makes any sense. See, when I first joined, I would call them all church kids. And it was a funny nickname I gave them all because basically, other than the weird charges and stuff that you know what I'm saying about the members and stuff like that, the majority of them really didn't have the minds of a criminal. Is the best way I can put it. Something that seemed like simple for me to figure out or whatever. I don't know. It just didn't seem that simple. But they've grown. Yeah, apparently they've gotten much better at it. And I'm supposed to show some sort of loyalty and shit to all these people and all this other stuff long after the fact. Y'all have been attacking me, calling me a liar when you know the shit I'm saying is fucking true. Yeah, it's more like you just annoyed the shit out of me, and I really don't care anymore. So I cut off and broke off all fucking ties to do whatever the hell I want. And yeah, that includes Bojangles. Go keep hanging out with your pals that fucking tried to dox you and shit. And more and Who else did we dox? Oh, me? I forgot about me. And I'm pretty sure they probably doxed Nay, and they probably doxed also fucking Prop and Noe. Yeah, I mean, all these things you try to make everybody else sound horrible for doing, they started in the first place. So yeah, I will be the last bit of, it will be the last bit of fucking courtesy that you get that I didn't release any names. Um, on a live. I'm tired of hiding things. I'm tired of fucking people being able to call other people a liar because I was nice enough to keep these things to myself. Um, I know about the murder sheets coming to interview you guys. And the funny thing was, they reached out to me too. And the fact that they all of a sudden are ghosting me tells me everything I fucking need to know about the murder sheets too. So guess what? Yeah, we're going to have fun with that. Because I'm going to reach out to them one last time. And this time I'm actually going to inform them of the stuff I have to show them about you guys. And if they still refuse to do anything about it, well, then I'm just going to release it to every other creator that's not connected to you guys. And you guys get to be new content for everybody. The only difference is that the murder sheets will be on the chopping block at that point, too. And as I also said, anybody who wants to come up here and call me a liar about any of this, which I've done these kind of things, I don't know, probably like 15, 20 times I know. And the only one that was willing to come up here was some dude that didn't know what the fuck he was talking about that joined years after me. And all this stuff all went down. I'm sorry. And I don't really try to hate too much on Frank Meister as far as another one's concerned. But don't tell people shit didn't happen when you weren't a member of the shit. I ain't got no hate for you, dude. I've made content with you and all this other stuff before. But at the same time, they're just using you, dude. You should see what they say about you when you're not around. Just saying. About it when I was thrown out of the courthouse. Oh yeah, dude. I was reached there recently, asking for my phone number and all kinds of shit because I was wanting to be interviewed about my perspective in regards to this special troll farm event that's supposedly coming soon. But I guess somebody got word around to Boss Hoss and all them other ones and told them who they were talking about interviewing, and then all of a sudden they got shut down real fast. I wonder why. Because I don't know if I sent all the evidence and stuff that I have to the murder sheets and then they decided to hide it, then I could literally hand it out to criminality and stay and prop and fucking the crankers and everybody and just show them the real kind of people and journalists that group is. And what explanation would they have? Well, we had the evidence and everything else, but we didn't believe it even though it was right in front of us. Oof, awkward. No, I got quite a few things I'm gonna let you know about, dude. Quite a few things. Wow, yeah. You were the one that was always said everybody said to leave you out of because of your close association with one of the people involved in real life. And somebody with half a brain's worth of intelligence once given even the information. I don't really need to give names because once that I expect you to understand what I'm saying. Pretty much, yeah. The suspects come down to two people, and if it's not one, it's the other. And I know both of them, so yeah. But yeah, but yeah, I had an associate die earlier. I got an email to send off to a specific individual. I think I just mentioned. I'm going to go ahead and just, unless somebody has some other question they need to ask. In fact, any content creators, I'm more than happy to come on your show and answer any fucking question you got about them. It's time to end the silence about everything. Period. Have a great night.